Hello, everyone. How you doing? It's Bondy. This is going to be kind of a commentary, a little bit mixed in with some news criticism. Many of you may have heard the sound bites or the 30-second clips of this guy right here, Harrison Butker. He is a place kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, he gave a commencement speech at Benedictine College, and it's a Catholic university. And he said lots of things that people are cutting up into 20 or 30-second sound bites. I'm not going to play those 20 or 30-second sound bites for you because I think that's unfair to him and unfair because you're not getting the whole context of what he said. His entire speech is 20 minutes long. You see down here on YouTube, 20 minutes. Now, the media, many in the media are, even Fox, CNN, all of them, are only playing maybe 20, 30-second clips of what he said. And they're taking things, many would say, out of context. Now, I'm not saying I agree or disagree with him. I agree with a lot. I do. But my problem is with people giving opinions or judgments only by looking at a 30-second clip. That's one reason why I left the mainstream media. I walked away from the media for various reasons. My family was number one, but also because we lived in a world of 20 to 30-second clips. I was told sometimes that people would not listen to a story if it was more than a minute 30. But I think people will listen. Why does Joe Rogan get millions of views and people listening for 3 hours on his podcast? Because he doesn't script his show, and he is himself, he is real, and he is insightful. You may not agree with him, but he's real. Television news, for the most part, is scripted. Nothing wrong with that, but I don't believe it gives you the full opportunity to know everything there is or to learn everything there is. Okay? So I'm not going to play this speech. I'm going to put a link in this story right here. There should be a link on the page, and you can watch it yourself. Because if only to play a short bit of it will not do it justice. And you may agree, you may not agree with his speech. But what is wrong with him saying what he said? He talked about his Catholic faith. He talked about his wife being a homemaker and how that's a good thing. He talked about our society and how there needs to be more men in homes. He talked about the division in this country. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But some of you may. And that is your right to not agree with that. That's why we're in America. We can say what we want. Now, do the Kansas City Chiefs want to fire him or get rid of him? That's their right. They can do that. But Harrison Butker doesn't care. I don't think he cares if he loses his job with the Kansas City Chiefs. This one speech that he made right here, he could go on the speaking tours circuit and make lots of money. But he took a risk. He took a risk speaking up for what he believes in. I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I said, I agree with most of what he said. You may agree with everything he said, or you may agree with nothing. But I think the point that I'm trying to get across to people is that I always get asked, what's the best media source to watch? And I always say there really is none. News Nation probably is the best. But when it comes to news, I think a lot of you need to do your own research. If you really care deeply about an issue, watch videos like this in its entirety and watch both sides of a story. If you're an independent, I would encourage you to watch Fox, to watch MSNBC, to watch CNN, and then News Nation. News Nation is probably the most independent of them all. But I encourage you to take all sides and take it in. There's many people, I would say 95% of people in our society maybe 90%, they will judge something based on a 30-second soundbite or a short clip. I don't think that's fair. I really don't, especially when it comes to something like this. When this man is putting himself out there, yes, he's a multimillionaire. Absolutely. Does he have privilege? Absolutely. But for people judging when they only hear a 20 or 30-second clip, I don't think that's fair. There's 20 minutes here of content, and most people have not heard all of it. This video has millions of views. How many people have sat and listened to the entire video or watched the entire video? I wanted to come on here and just let people know that there's a lot that's going wrong with the media, but there's a lot of good things with the media. There are some good journalists out there doing amazing work in the mainstream media. There are journalists that are giving all sides to a story. Many are not. Many are trying to set a narrative or divide people, and that's wrong. You know, I gave the story about when I was reporting in Evansville, Indiana, I covered a story with the Westboro Baptist Church. And for those of you who don't know who they are, the Westboro Baptist Church, they're a group of hateful, horrible people who are probably going to burn in hell one day. Sorry, getting a call. But they have the right to say what they want. And we don't have the right to, we don't have to agree with them, but they have the right to say it. I listened to everything they said, and I came away with the thought that it was horrible and disgusting, but they still had a right to say it. Free speech does not mean only liking speech that we agree with. So coming back to this right here with Harrison Butker, I encourage all of you, before you give an opinion or before you give a judgment on something, go ahead and watch the entire story or entire video, okay? For example, the debates coming up with Trump and Biden. Don't just rely on a 30-second clip here or a 30-second clip there. Watch the entire debate and see what you think. And then if you want to fact check something Trump or Biden said, go do it yourself. Don't trust the media to do it. It's sad to say because I used to work in the media. Now, like I said, there are amazing journalists out there. I don't like it when people say, oh, the mainstream media is horrible. A lot of them are. But a lot of them are good people. Okay? I know a lot of you may not like what I'm saying, but I'm real. That sign right up there, my logo, keeping it real, that's what I'm about, okay? And part of this is opinion. It is opinion. And I walked away from the mainstream media in order to give you everything. And I will also tell you how I feel, okay? So that's my take, to try to open up more communication. The more we talk about things, the better we'll be. Some in the media are coming after Harrison Butker and some celebrities calling for him to be let go from the Kansas City Chiefs, for him to be canceled and wiped off the face of the earth. I don't think that's appropriate. You can say that, and they have the right to say it. But unless you have listened to his entire 20-minute speech, I don't think you can give a fair judgment, because there might be some things in this 20-minute speech that you agree with. And if you don't, that's totally fine. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a good day. Have a good week.